Hi, all, Kinsey Schofield here, and I'm at Paula Froelich's house.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, it's so much fun to be with. We did warn them that this might happen, but it's so much fun to
Mhm.
be with you in real life.
Okay, this has been an amazing day. First of all, I hijacked her, made her go on NewsNation with me. That'll be coming out later this week. I'll let you all know. But then after, I was like, let's go get tacos.
Oh my gosh, they were so good.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's the best meal I've had since I've been in New York.
Los Tacos number one.
It,
It's number one.
I need to immediately call you when I land so I'm not eating like street crap. And I actually feel like I had a decent meal today. And then we went on the subway, which was biblical.
It was
It
amazing.
was a biblical experience. But like
Mhm.
as I'm preparing to see you today,
Mhm.
all of this crazy stuff is dropping. And we were almost overwhelmed during the NewsNation interview because we had too much to talk about.
Way too much. And we were on a timeline, and I was like, no, but there's hours of stuff.
Hmm.
This Australia trip that they're doing is bonkers.
Hmm.
And, Megan, I love it. It's almost like I feel like there's a university course in here somewhere on
Don't do this.
yeah, on a how to put your foot in it every single time, but also how to spin, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because it's
It's never
every
a failure.
never failure. It's always amazing. It's always what you wanted.
And it's not like she goes, it's a learning lesson. She's literally like, no, I won, I hit the lottery here. And
Yeah.
that's not the case ever.
No, especially after this variety thing dropped.
Oh, yeah.
So the variety article, as you know, it was insane. It's basically Netflix is completely done with her,
Numb to the Sussexes.
numb.
Wait, can I,
And they also have, please read it.
yeah,
It's
let me pick
insane.
some of the highlights and I'll get
They
your
have
reaction to it.
$10 million worth of product that's not sold.
Oh my God. Look, listen, this one is like what freaked me out. Ted Sarandos of Netflix
Hmm.
wants lawyers on future calls with Meghan. He denies it. Here's my theory on why, and you can tell me if you think
Hmm.
it's wrong or right. My theory is royal content does so well for Netflix. Think of Diana the musical.
Hmm.
Think of The Crown.
Hmm.
Diana the musical was lambasted, but everybody watched it. They love royal content. Harry and Meghan, the original docu-series, and I do believe in the Vanity Fair. I do believe that Vanity Fair report that Meghan could be shopping a post-divorce book allegedly one day. And I think that they are keen enough to recognize that they could hit another jackpot if Meghan was willing to talk to them if there's a potential divorce one day.
Okay, yes, yes, and yes. And it's also they want a Diana doc if they're going to do it,
Hmm.
which is why they still have the first look deal, although they're not picking up anything
Hmm.
and they're not even creating any of the stuff that she bought
Hmm.
via Archwell, like, meet me at the lake
Hmm.
or elevator pitch for,
The wedding date.
the wedding date. We met in an elevator and I can't go to a wedding alone because it's 1992.
Right. Also,
Uh,
like I've seen that movie 30 times.
all on the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
100%. Possibly Jennifer Garner or Kate Hudson was in one
Yeah.
in the early 2000s.
Hmm.
But, so it's all just kind of old. They're done. But I also think the thing about Ted Sarandos is he is head of Netflix and nobody wants to
I
talk
cannot say his name right. If my life
Sarandos.
depended on it, somebody could have a
Think
knife to my neck and I'd be like,
Susan
Sarah, no.
Sarandon, but with an S on the end. Susan Sarandis.
Okay, I'll try.
But the thing is that in Hollywood, they all want to be nice to the face. They will all stab you behind their back. That's just what
Hmm.
Hollywood is.
Yeah, that was my next question. Why does Spotify, why does Netflix, why do these people all give them a glowing send off with the mutual decision, generic
It's in the
line?
contract.
Is it really?
It's probably in a contract. Should we go separate ways? It's this.
That would be clever.
And by the way, Spotify wasn't that glowing because Bill
Well,
Simmons called her an effing grifter.
Bill was not in on it. Like Bill clearly like did not get the memo. But yeah,
But
that is
also they have
crazy.
to, it's usually either in a contract or they don't want to scare off other talent
Yes,
by
absolutely. That's a
saying, "Oh,
great
if we
point.
want to hire so and so, well, they don't look what they did with the Sussexes,
Oh yeah,
So
okay, that is so true.
that's usually why. But yeah, and then my favorite thing is Megan's people going, "She talks to Ted and his wife all the time. They're neighbors. They
Yeah, they
hang
live in the
out."
same neighborhood. They socialize together. Okay.
Which, by the way, is fine. But I'm betting socializing and making your wife go talk to them is a lot different than somebody calling up and trying to talk business.
Right. And they say she texts and calls him directly versus going, they go, a lot of A-listers do that, but can we be honest? These two are not A-listers. They're like, have not proven their
But
value.
it goes back to a story I wrote recently
Yeah.
that she only wants to talk to the head guy,
Mm-hmm.
which actually is very annoying for the head guy because the head guy
Has other
usually
things to do.
hires a ton of really great people and they do the stuff for him. So by
Mm-hmm.
actually going straight to the top is a super annoying thing, and
It's the burden.
it's the only thing you only do it if you are going completely bonkers over something and you do it once,
And remember,
never twice.
there were stories that she was notorious for that at Spotify at like the 11th hour.
Spotify, she also was notorious for that at William Morris before Ari Emanuel said, "No, I'm done. Do
Left.
not call me."
Yeah.
Oh no, they're still there and Ari's still there.
But he's not on their team anymore. The Variety article says he officially left her team.
Well, he was never, let's be honest, when you hire a big client, okay, and you're hiring like you go balls to the wall for a client, and she had left UTA, which is hilarious
Sounds like
because
UTI, but okay, yes.
the UTA head then slammed her. It was like, she is not talented. You know,
Mhm.
just because you're famous doesn't
Wait,
mean you're
I don't
talented.
think she was with them because after he said that, he said just because it turns out Meghan Markle's not a audio talent, she's not a talent at all. But when after he said that, Meghan's team said that they had approached her, but I don't think she was officially with them, right?
Mm-mm. No, she was with them for Suits. She was with them
Oh,
up until she got married.
and
And
then
then
she dropped
when
out.
they left after Megxit, they went to Los Angeles
Hmm.
and tried to do the rounds with the big agencies.
Yeah.
And the really top two are CAA and William Morris,
And so she
Endeavor.
did not want to go back because she felt like that was
It
going
wasn't big
back.
enough.
Yeah.
And CAA refused to take her call. I wrote that as
Oh
well.
my God.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me.
So CAA was like, yeah, no thanks. We're good. No.
So how funny that after he says that
Mm.
comment that we still quote to this day, her team feels the need to release a statement saying that he wanted her so bad and she didn't want him. That's exactly what we were just talking about, like the diversion, the never losing.
Well, here's the deal. UTA probably was like, yeah, we can work again. We got you Suits. We
Yeah.
made you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. And then she was like, yeah, no, I got bigger, better
For
with
sure.
Ari Emanuel and William
For
Morris.
sure. Yeah.
So to be fair, I don't think that that is, you know, they dodged a bullet is all I'm saying on
Yeah,
that.
amen.
But Ari's like, no, I don't want to deal with her anymore. And he hasn't dealt with her for over a year.
Right. Also, can you pinpoint anywhere where it feels like William Morris Endeavor's actually done anything for her?
I think they probably tried.
Mm.
But here's the problem. Because of what happened at Spotify, because of the Netflix debacle, there's nothing really you can do. She tainted their brand.
Hmm.
Harry tainted their brand as well. Let's be clear.
Polo.
They're both kind of, and people in Hollywood, as you said before, really only want to be with people on the upswing. They were on the upswing in 2020 through, I would say, 2021, 22. And then after Bill Simmons really laid the nail in that coffin.
God love him. This a toast
And
to Bill Simmons. Thank
um,
you.
but and so then after that, people were just like, unless you're talking about the royal family, we don't care.
Right.
And now that the royal family for a good 4 years has
Silence.
Heisman, they've literally given them the Heisman
Hmm.
over there.
Hmm.
And there's no new news.
Right.
And what are you going to do? Still keep complaining?
They're gonna claim that Kate didn't wish Meghan a happy birthday, and it's breaking news.
And Kate doesn't wish her a happy birthday in freaking forever.
Let me ask you about
I
this.
mean, Kate's like, I can't stand you, and you were horrible to me,
Yeah.
and I literally cannot ever say a damn thing.
Hmm.
So I can't stand up for
But I
myself.
am going to be queen one day.
Yeah.
All right, this is insane. Meghan asked for changes to be made under the guise of not upsetting the royal family to the Harry and Meghan original Netflix series. But the article says the truth was they needed for Harry's book to have exclusives. And so there was a tug of war with Netflix over that because Meghan was going into the edit bay going, I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
She had already ruffled all the feathers. She
Yeah.
doesn't care.
By the way, should we feed Doug?
That weird sound is Doug.
Feed Doug.
Wait,
We'll
stay
be right
there.
back.
No, we're not because he's already eaten and he's just being a jerk. Hold on. Hold on.
Come say hi, Doug.
See, now he's running away from me.
Doug knows.
And that's okay.
We love Doug. Doug is going to make an appearance.
Doug is like a hobbit. He wants his 11s all the time. And it's not happening.
Come on, Doug, say hi.
Hey, come here. Come.
She's gonna grab Doug. Here's Doug. Oh my gosh, hello, Doug. Oh, he's so sweet. Doug, not an As Ever fan. He does not like the biscuits. The
Doug actually likes real jam.
The American Riviera Orchard biscuits.
No, you cannot go jump on Kinsey.
We have made out already today, though. Doug and I have tongue kissed. So yeah, does it surprise you that she was, because they said that she had a decent relationship with the second, actually they go through a string of producers I didn't even know about or I'd forgotten about, talking about how difficult it was to actually execute in the Variety article, how difficult it was to execute the only commercial success that they had. But does it surprise you that she sneaks into the edit booth and is like, no, we can't do that because, oh, we don't want to upset the royal family, dramatic curtsy, like that part stays in.
Right.
But
also, here's the deal. It's all the book, every time you do a project for someone, especially if someone has paid you between 20 and $40 million, you have to have the tell, you have to have the sell, you have to have stuff that can still be given.
Yeah.
And that people are going to buy this book. And now here's the deal. I've heard this from a very good source. Penguin Random House will never do another book with either of them ever again.
Really?
They are done with them. They can't handle this.
Did your source tell you that even though Harry's book did well, it disappointed them based on what their expectations were too?
Okay, girl.
I heard that.
I got some good juice on
this. That was in that sphere.
Yeah, I got some good juice on this, and
I'm loving this. We have had a little alcohol, and I'm loving every second of this.
I literally cannot. I'm going to be doing this for NewsNation, so you guys
tune in.
Also sign up for that newsletter because it's amazing and it drops all my exclusives.
Yeah.
But
wait, tell them where to sign up for the newsletter. Tell them.
Oh, NewsNation.
Yeah.
Just go to NewsNation, look up the scoop, or go to my Substack, the Inside Scoop, Paula Froelich. Here's the deal, though. Regarding Penguin Random House, they're never going to make back that money.
Yeah.
They gave them too much money, and they did not earn out. However, I'm hearing Harry and Meghan call on the regular asking if there's going to be more money coming.
No.
Because they think that there are royalties coming.
Oh, and they still haven't made back the money so that
there will never be royalties.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember
the book sold well? Let's be real clear. It sold well. I think it sold over 1 million copies. And of, hard copies, which is great. That's the moneymaker. That's like $30 a book.
And if you want to listen on the Audible version, you can hear Harry actually talk about his frozen todger, which is like biblical in a sense. Mommy's in the room.
I have to eat. But
we did just have tacos.
30 million is great. But for the book company, you've got 20 to $40 million that they already paid him. They still have to pay for marketing. They have to pay for printing. They have to pay for shipping. They have to pay for all of this stuff. And you don't get 1 penny of a royalty until the book has earned out, as it
paid for itself.
Back the advance and paid for itself.
Wow, that's crazy that they would have the audacity to continue to call and say, we're looking for more money.
I think that they truly believe that.
Okay, so what do you think about the story that started circulating at the beginning of this year that, it sounds so silly saying it out loud now, but that Meghan had a cookbook to complement As Ever / Would Love Meghan coming out in 2026?
Yes, please. I don't know who's publishing it because it ain't Penguin Random House.
Wow.
But all I have to say is yes, please, because if it's anything like her one pot pasta.
Oh my gosh, we'll have weeks worth of content. Us just sitting in a kitchen going, this is garbage.
What is going on? It's like, I'm sorry, we don't need it. Sandra Lee already does Sandra Lee semi-homemade.
I do think that there was they dropped the ball in the sense that As Ever could have been more like the Tig, and I think it would have been it would have provided more value to us. Does that make sense? I mean, not zero.
But here's the deal. I didn't read the Tig. I've seen it back in the day, And it is what it is. But even, I mean, Reese Witherspoon,
Mhm.
her blog is off. That is something that was of the
Time.
time, and that's what every actress, everyone who wanted to be famous or do a UN thing,
But I do think that it's different because she's trying to sell us product. So if she's providing us with unique recipes that are selling those products, and I'm looking at the website
mm,
and I'm reading some fake stories she's made up about how she loves her grandmother, even though she doesn't talk to her father. And then I might go, okay, I'm going to buy this honey because I'm going to try this recipe. Like I do think that they're analytically and digitally, it could lead to a sale, which is how I'm justifying this in my head. And then ultimately that could justify a cookbook. But this just feels
which
so
was
unnecessary to your point.
yeah, but also the
And
other thing is,
the one
Jens,
time she had
well,
success with the cookbook, that charity just closed, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, the Grenfell Fire one. Yeah, because by the way, she did one thing for them. It was like, bye, I did it.
Yeah.
There's no
That is
sense.
a classic Meghan Markle move, by the
But
way.
that's what I've been talking about with both of them. When they talk about charity, they show up, they get the pictures, they get the hell out. And none of their efforts that are ongoing. There's no goodwill because they don't bring goodwill.
There's no commitment.
And now yes, they might bring attention, but it's not good attention.
Wait, have you heard this?
Hmm.
That because they don't like to give away money, and because they didn't like to give away money through Archwell Foundation, which is now philanthropies,
Mm,
their big offer when they would contact people they wanted to work with so that they could have their photo taken was allegedly, we won't give you money, but we will be there. Like our presence is the charitable gift. I mean,
oh,
I had several charities reach out to me and say, that Harry and Meghan would offer their presence, but they not would not necessarily offer any financial contribution, which they
actually,
needed.
which is ironic because when they do give money,
Mhm.
they announce it everywhere. Remember
Right.
the one child in need?
Yeah, Variety
Har
mentions that. Harry sending a press release about
Harry has to go back to London. People don't like him anymore. So then, right before he goes, as he's there, I've given $1 million
yeah,
for one child in need. And you're like, oh, no.
this is not how you do it. I'm embarrassed for you.
And so, I've said it before, and again, I say it again. They live in Montecito. 20 minutes away is East Santa Barbara, which is not wealthy, which
Right.
many people are below the poverty line. If you actually want to do charitable things, go there.
Yeah, it's
Go
just a
work in a
quick car
soup
ride.
kitchen on a regular basis, or go be a volunteer firefighter instead of showing up after the fire, after a big
To
fire.
Kevin Costner's event.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I think I've said this to you too. Like, you know, LA, Skid Row
Hmm.
is full of veterans. Skid Row is full of veterans that are homeless
Hmm.
and have drug problems and are struggling. Harry could truly make an impact on Skid Row, which is down, I know it's
Yes.
an hour and a half, but if Harry and Meghan could get in the car to go to a Kardashian party or whatever, then they could get in the car to
Well,
help.
I will say, and I don't like saying this, but in his defense, I don't like Skid Row. I got stuck on Skid Row once. It's a long story,
They
and I'm
do
not talking
horrible.
about the band.
They do horrible things to dogs on Skid Row. Spencer Pratt for
Oh,
mayor he's gonna fix it. Um, um, wait. So I know that this is like an obvious thing, and I've said
mm.
this for years. Netflix was upset about Harry and Meghan's Oprah interview. If you and Spotify, they don't say Spotify, but they clearly say Netflix in the
I
variety.
don't know if I can say this on your show, and you can bleep it out, but they definitely hit the bet on that one.
Oh yeah.
The problem is they went on Oprah and really diluted the Netflix show,
Also, they
and they
made
did it just because of Oprah.
more outrageous claims than they give Penguin Random House, Spotify, or Netflix. If I
Yep.
am any of those people that have given them such a huge chunk of money, I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't even get to know who the racist is.
Right. And not only that, but Oprah didn't pay them. They did it for her friendship and her glow.
For their, so they could associate with.
And for press. And you're
Well,
just kind of like,
you know,
this is ridiculous.
they also probably did it because Oprah presented them with Tyler Perry, who gave them the private jet so that they could make the
Mm,
grand escape.
But also, they also think in their minds, again, it's 2013,
Hmm.
they think that Oprah is the kingmaker, whereas out in the rest of the country, Oprah gives people the
Ick
ick.
for sure.
And now if Oprah's there, people are like, oh,
No.
no, we don't like you.
Also, here's a sandwich, Oprah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But To your point, I keep seeing that she talked to the Coldplay lady, and I couldn't care less. Like
Yeah.
that should be something that I know pop culture wise, I should be pursuing that, but I'm like, wow, talk about two people I don't give a crap
Yeah,
about.
but also tell you why nobody cares. Number one, the Coldplay lady's story's already been out there. She gave an exclusive, I think,
Mm,
to the New York Times, and it was already out there that
yeah.
her husband was in there. What else did she say? Nothing,
Mm.
except for Oprah looking at her going, don't be so judgmental, everyone. And you're like, I don't, ugh, this is so weird.
Oprah pursued Harry's mother, Diana, with a vengeance.
Hmm.
You know, there are stories about her visiting Diana at Kensington Palace trying to secure an interview, and Oprah gave Diana the ick. And there is Meghan complaining that she doesn't want to do the BBC interview, which historically the royal family does.
Hmm.
She doesn't want to talk to the BBC about an engagement. She wants to talk to Oprah about the engagement. Um, I mean, just goes to show how ignorant Harry and Meghan are that they would not have
Hold on.
taken Diana's position.
No. Megan is looking at Oprah and she's looking at all the people Oprah created. Rachel Ray,
Dr.
Dr. Oz,
Phil, Dr. Oz.
Dr. Phil, Nate Berkus, all
Mhm.
these people. And
Yeah.
Megan is probably thinking, oh, she's a
Hmm.
kingmaker.
Remember when Meghan was on Rachel Ray?
No.
Yeah, Meghan was on Rachel Ray. We'll have to look that up. We'll have to
Girl,
find that
you
and watch that.
do?
We'll
Oh
have
my
to after our third
God.
glass. Let's see. Oh my gosh, this is
I mean, I'm still on my first class, but wow.
let me read this because it's
Damn.
all so good.
Go, go.
Insiders say that Meghan has long conveyed that Hollywood is her domain. In virtual and in-person meetings with partners, she tends to talk over or recast Prince Harry's thoughts, sometimes while he is mid-sentence. Sources say that this is usually preceded by Meghan touching his arm and leg. By the way, I can literally see that in my head. We've physically seen her do that
What
before.
is this?
Meg's lawyer said in a letter to Variety, this assertion seems calculated to play into the misogynistic characterization of her bossing her husband around. Prince Harry, meanwhile, attests that this is categorically false. Paula, we've physically seen that
Mm,
happen
mm,
when they do
mm.
Zooms, you know, when they sometimes do those like
What
random
it,
Zooms.
shh. What
Exactly.
Kinsey's trying to say is, I speak YouTube, or as you guys might call it, YouTube, because we're fancy. They had,
Sorry, Doug.
I know, Doug, my bad, baby. I mean, here's the deal. It's, God bless. If you and I had been raised with this sense of narcissism and self, we would be president of the country.
For sure. I say all the time that I wish I had her delusion. Like if I was as
Right?
delusional as she was, I would be so much further in my career.
You know what's interesting though is that there are a lot of people like that in Hollywood who are this delusional, and but some of them actually might have a modicum of talent or have the ability to listen for a hot minute. She does not. You know, we don't know what she is. She's constantly changing her skin, as in like a chameleon. Oh, this note didn't work next. This didn't work next. And when you get right down to it, she doesn't listen. There are plenty of people who just have a delusional sense of self and not much talent,
Hmm.
but they get there. And I can name about 50, but I'm not going to right now. And Ryan Seacrest. But there's she doesn't listen.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah. I have to tell you guys about a total game changer, Peak's Liver Detox Protocol. You may not know it, but your liver handles a lot: energy, hormones, digestion, and even your mood. But with all the stress and toxins from everyday life, it needs some love. Forget harsh cleanses. Peak delivers gentle daily support inspired by traditional Chinese medicine. Their routine uses two simple blends. The first is a warming turmeric mix with cinnamon and black pepper, designed to help the body absorb it better and support your liver while calming inflammation. The second is a ginger and cinnamon blend that helps with blood flow, digestion, bloating, and immune support. The magic is how they work together to activate and flush for better digestion, stable energy, less brain fog, and that light, clear feeling. My energy is consistent now, skin is clear, and less bloating. Redefine your standard of health, secure 20% off your order, and begin your intentional wellness journey today at peaklife.com/Kinsey. That's PIQUE life.com/Kinsey. Yeah, this is another one that I mentioned to you earlier, but I'm going to read it word for word.
Mm.
Meghan also had odd methods of providing feedback. According to three sources, she was known to disappear for long periods during Zoom calls, the sources say. Later, Netflix teams, like the marketing department, would be informed that her absence was due to her being offended by something that was said. Now, Meghan's attorney fights back, saying, "Work from home." Meghan works from home and is a mother of young children aged 4 and 6, and often encounters, as many parents who work from home do, children who enter the space unexpectedly during a meeting. By the way, I challenge you. I know she has multiple nannies,
Mhm.
so her kids bursting into a room while she's in a business
Would
meeting,
never happen.
nice
Somebody would be
try.
fired.
Exactly. Independent of being a parent who works from home, Meghan is also conscious of shielding her team from the distraction of children. Nearly all professionals can attest to needing to turn off the audio or camera during a virtual meeting at some point during many hours of virtual business calls.
Which, by the way,
I
is
call
fine.
BS.
But many professionals don't have a 13-bedroom house
Mhm.
with like 90.
16 bathrooms and lots of toilet paper.
Totally. So if we were in, say, my apartment, yeah, I get that. But they're not.
Mhm.
And also, I have to say, I did once work for a horrific person who would demand we all go on Zoom and then just start screaming. And the only way that I could register my discontent was just by turning off my screen.
Yeah. Bye. Well, so to your point, that was intentional though, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I just am not buying this
Because,
excuse. I
and
think,
also, if you're in a meeting with executives, you don't do that.
yeah,
You
I
know,
think it's her pitching a fit. And they say we have three different sources that say this, so I'm buying that. And this actually,
I did it.
I pulled this quote because it reminded me of you. Netflix started to phase out last fall after Meghan hired an independent brand consultant and creative director, formerly of Goop, Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. You started reporting last fall that it was over, so that's why I pulled that because I thought
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
was
Oh,
important
girl,
to
no, no,
acknowledge.
no. I reported last March,
Yeah.
even before the first show
Oh,
came
really?
out, that
You
they
feel like
were
they were done with
done.
her? Oh,
No,
wow.
they absolutely were. They were
Oh.
really upset. And, she's a micromanager.
Hmm.
The show is horrific. They're not dummies. This is what they do for a living.
Right.
And they spent so much money.
Hmm.
They hired a director who was Tony Bourdain's director.
Yeah.
They had this huge, they bought, not bought, they rented out this huge house. That show was so expensive and it was so bad. They're not dummies. They know what's going to hit and what isn't going to hit. And people told me even before the first one came out, and I did a huge exclusive for News Nation, they're done.
Hmm.
They're done.
Yeah, she
No.
has, I have to, props. She's been saying it forever, like all day or day.
And
And I do credit you and I quote you, so.
thanks, Bird.
Um,
But it's just, and the thing is that they'd say, no, they're not. There's a second
they're
season.
still saying that in this Variety article, by the way. They're saying seasonal. We're getting seasonal episodes of With Love, Megan. No.
I mean, maybe for someone else, maybe she's calling up Kris Kardashian
But she
and
also
trying to do.
said in Washington, D.C. during the Fortune most influential, whatever, a women summit that she was going to be working on micro content. We've not seen an ounce of that. And that was a long time ago that she said that.
See, did you not see today? She micro-contented
The
some
flowers.
flowers
Yeah.
with Harry going, it's beautiful.
I did make a funny joke that I have to read out loud because I don't remember all the flowers I listed. I did a quick
Go
Google.
for it. It was like,
Paula's like, wait, Paula's like, she's starting a flower company. And I
or
said,
no, she's doing she's not starting a flower company. She's doing a collab.
a flower collab. And I said, will she only carry lily of the valley, oleander, foxglove, and azaleas, aka poisonous? And then Paula said, ha 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 ha. I mean, just so much is going on right now. And
Well, I'm pretty sure we'll get that bouquet.
oh, we would. So much is going on right now. And both you and I said earlier this year, the best way to handle 2026 is to disappear for 2026. And oh my God, are they doing the opposite?
Girl, I wrote an entire list. I was like,
Doug
listen.
is humping something right now.
Okay, so that's what Doug does. Whenever people come over, this is really embarrassing. He's got a hump pillow, and he does not do this when no one else is here. He pulls out this weird old pillow, and humps it, and then stares at the guest while he's humping it.
Oh my God.
It's,
Do you think it's the content we're discussing?
no, no. This is what he does when guests come over. He's like, "That's right.
Welcome to my pad.
I mean, I own you."
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
So,
It's
what are your predictions for 2026 now? Because obviously they're not going to, well, I guess we could start with Invictus. Do
mm,
you believe Meghan will attend the preview this summer in the UK?
I don't know. And I'll tell you why, because I think if the government gives them protection,
Armed security.
then yes. If they don't, then no. Or possibly they'll pay for extra to go.
Don't, but we both know that
Wait,
the reason Harry
the reason
has,
why I think she might show up regardless is because they need the royal sheen.
yeah,
They need
they need that proximity. But you and I both know, and it annoys me that Harry has worked so hard
mm,
to do this, to make this the tone, which is the tone, that if Harry told Ravik, Meghan and I are coming over in 30 days, they would get armed guards. What
100%.
Harry and Meghan are
Mhm.
fighting for is automatic. They don't like asking for permission, which is ridiculous.
Well, what they're also fighting for is international protection, or international
Listen to
protected
this.
person,
Listen to this.
which means you get full free security wherever you
Everywhere.
go forever, which means that they wouldn't have to pay $2 to $3 million a year, which they are now, on their own personal security.
But does that mean as American citizens, we would be paying through our tax dollars to protect them if they were living in America? Do
I
you know
am
that?
I am not sure about that. I
Yeah.
think because if you look at someone like oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name, the Iranian writer, Satanic Verses,
Mm.
Salman Rushdie.
Yeah.
Salman Rushdie was an IPP and
Wow.
they let it slide and he got stabbed in the eye.
Hmm.
So he's again IPP but with IPP service, and that was he's a British citizen.
Right. Oh, so
So
maybe maybe the British are paying for
I
that?
think so. I am not 100% on that, but I do know they want IPP,
I
so
know that they do too. And I'm
they
just
don't
wondering
have to
who
pay.
would pay for that because
Either way,
I
it's
would be
ridiculous.
angry. I mean, I would be angry for the British too, but I
Yeah.
would especially be angry if because Harry and Meghan come over here, Harry's trying to change our laws, wants to talk to us about how freedom of speech is bonkers, wants to have some sort of say or some sort of control over internet laws and is trying to craft the way we communicate on social
Mhm.
media.
And by the way, tell everyone, don't put your children up on the internet. And his wife's doing the same.
Yeah, I mean, like he's literally telling us on a Zoom call to keep our kids off social media, and Megan's over in the corner uploading a new picture of Lily. Only Lily, only
Only like,
Lily.
and by the way, this is my theory. The less popular they get, the more of Lily's face they show.
100%.
So,
It's like, well, when we were talking about how she's always creating a diversion, that's like one of her
yes.
go-tos, her easiest diversion. And then you've got the generic characters, People Magazine, Us Weekly, new precious photo of Princess Lily,
Precious.
like clockwork, rare photo. It's not, girl, we're getting them every week because she's getting a bad headline, and
I
this is how
mean,
she pivots.
yeah, it's either that or well, even with Mother's Day in England, it's like here's, and then with the flowers, it's like a little hand with
No.
a big hand.
Oh
Like
my
I
God.
don't, I feel so weird about all of this.
Yeah, my body isn't my body rejects. My body rejects. Yeah. So that's interesting. I think you're right. I think it's really important that she does show.
Hmm. But the thing is that they're going, what they said, as we've talked about it before, what they say is not what is actually happening. It's happened so repeatedly
Mhm.
that we can now, everything they say, you're like, is that true though?
Right. Well,
You
so
know,
that's how, okay, so when I didn't say this on your show, but you asked me about Tom
mhm.
Bauer. So when Harry and Meghan lash out, it is typically because it's true, because they're lashing out about Tom Bauer right now, and it's embarrassing. Like the word, I can't even remember the words they're using. They're calling him like a conspiracy theorist or
Yeah,
stuff.
and that is obsessed.
Yeah, like and I take this to heart so much because when I reported that they had approached Dolly Parton to be on With Love Megan and Dolly denied them, there was a that's not true.
Yep.
You know, they were so ugly about it. And I remember being upset because it was the first time I think that they really like acknowledged and clashed with me. And I went back to my source and my source who
Hmm.
works in the sphere was like, no,
If
this
it's
is true.
happening.
This is true. And that's when I really realized when they are upset about truth, that's usually when they lash out.
Oh, but they also get like their guy in London, Liam,
Mm-hmm.
is like loves to threaten people,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, we're gonna get our lawyers on this.
Right. Which we saw the lawyers all over the Variety article, and I don't think that scared Variety at all.
Well, no, but also, I mean, I remember doing the story that, she had sticky fingers
Mm.
and that she had been accused
So
of
funny.
stealing from photo shoots,
Yeah.
and wearing the dress in
The We
the
Love Megan promo.
yes, and and I cited other people who said this,
Mm-hmm.
names, all this
Also, this
stuff.
is just so we don't get in trouble. Tom Bauer talks about this in Revenge.
Mhm.
This also happened, according to Tom Bauer, at a Canadian photo shoot for her clothing collaboration in
100%.
Toronto.
Mhm.
So this is where we're just repeating things that are already out there.
And so I wrote it, and then he was like, "That's not true." And I said, "What?" And they go, and then he sends me an email, which was just absurd. It's common practice for people, it's in a contract, and it's common practice for people to take things from a photo shoot.
But wait, didn't she
Wait,
also say Royal Archive or
yeah,
something?
wait.
Oh my
And then
God.
no, that was later. And I sent back to him and I said, actually, I've been on many photo shoots. I know a lot of stylists. It's there.
I'm a journalist.
I
I
would
worked then.
I would love to see the contract because I don't believe you. And that is actually not okay in the States, especially when you're dealing with Chanel gowns and some other things. And he goes, "Well, I know editors." And I said, "In the US?" Because it's not common practice in the
Hmm.
US. And let me tell you guys about this. Number one thing, if you're a stylist, you better return those damn clothes or
Hmm.
they're coming after you. Or if the brand decides to gift, that's fine. But the issue is Chanel does not gift.
Right. It's
And
Chanel. It's Chanel.
and also then she said it was something else like, we need this for her archives. And I said, well, if that's true, why didn't she take everything?
Hmm.
Why did she only take the really expensive stuff or the stuff that she liked?
And we
And
never hear about Catherine collecting things for her royal
no,
archive.
she can't. But also, you know what you also
I'm
don't
just
hear?
saying that's
You
it's
don't
a
hear
lie.
Gwyneth Paltrow doing that. You don't
Yeah,
hear of Jennifer Aniston
right.
doing that.
We hear about Lindsay Lohan doing that on her worst days,
Yeah, back in
okay?
the early.
Back in the day. We like her now. We like her in her new face.
But it was definitely like, are you kidding me? So then the story runs. Then he goes to Newsweek and gets Newsweek to write a story.
Jack Royston's
They're
always ready to help the Sussex squad
they're
out.
going to sue. And I'm like,
Patiently waiting.
great. And then he rewrote everything
But they
that
don't
Liam
sue.
had.
They
Well,
don't
no,
sue.
and
They
then he
just
rewrote everything Liam said. But I was like, dude, have you called a magazine? Do you know a stylist?
hmm
No, you don't, bud,
hmm
because it's all baloney skins.
Yeah,
And also, it's so funny. In Australia, they're probably going to go see that astrologer that
they
she
will.
really
I
liked.
know that they will.
And the astrologer is the one who told her last year and this year that this year was her
Going to
year.
be her year. Yeah, she's a Leo. Wait, before I let you go, we already wait, should I just
Hmm?
this is going up tomorrow. When's our conversation going up on NewsNation? Do you
This
know?
weekend.
How great is Tom Bauer's access to Dr. Sophie Shadaka of Cenobale? Because that's been my favorite thing to read so far in the Times.
Also, by the way, long, slow clap to Dr. Sophie because she was made out, and she did say this. She said the Sussex team and the PR squad is coming after me.
Yeah.
And they did. They made her sound like a crazy, like a
Well,
corrupt woman, and nobody bothered to
and
look.
it was racist in the tone that they were building against her. Like, I'm sorry, it was
100%.
racist in the tone that they were. Yeah.
Yes, she was right. It was misogynoir.
Yeah.
But also, here's the deal. She had worked with them for 4 years.
Hmm.
And then they made her the head of it. And she,
Also, her family, didn't they donate like a significant amount of money to Cenobale?
and the other issue is, they knew who she was. This is not somebody they just
Off the
met and,
streets.
oops, we made a mistake.
And also, they did hire a very expensive headhunter, and that headhunter loved her.
hmm
So
And,
they knew her. They had a
yeah,
third party look over her credentials.
and the,
JP Morgan.
hmm
Who else did she? I mean, she's got incredible names on her
she,
resume.
she,
Nike, like legitimate businesses.
oh, she's full on amazing.
Yeah.
But the thing that changed between when she was on the board and when she was made the chairwoman is Harry left the family. And
Hmm.
Harry and Meghan did the Harry and Meghan show, and their brand went from here nosediving into the gutter. And then she got in trouble because she said, all right, we're not getting donors. The donors have dried up, they're done. We're not getting any interest, we're not getting traction. So she did a study on why, and it was all because their brand was
Taking.
was gross and people
Hmm.
didn't want it. And also they were fine to do it when they were royal. When they were royal, the
Wait,
Obamas were there, the Bidens were there, the Bushes were there.
listening to you talk right now,
Hmm.
that's why as ever doesn't work. That's why everything
Yeah.
doesn't work. That is why everything doesn't work because they're still coming, they're still approaching us. The
Mm.
Sussexes are approaching us like royalty, and they are gutter reality stars now. You know what I mean? Like, am I is,
Yeah.
and I think that that's like,
I mean,
I love that Dr. Sophie Shandaka said, there's a problem. I need to find a solution. She goes and hires people to
mhm.
study the brand, and she comes back to Harry, and apparently this encounter happens on a private jet, and she says to him,
Oh
you know,
boy.
you've bombed since Spare, and then somebody else, the man that did the analytics and did the
Hmm.
survey is like, why did you call it Spare? Why didn't you call it Warrior? Or he uses like a strong word, which,
Another
yeah.
term.
And then she says, ultimately, Meghan is not appealing to anyone. And that's really when Harry goes,
Done.
we're done with her. And he starts plotting to get rid of her. And she says, all of these old white men are coming at me. And
By the way, all of these old white men who are making 350,000 pounds a year,
mm-hmm,
living in London,
mm-hmm,
not
never visiting
visiting,
Sutu.
and Harry didn't visit for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was just using it as like a personal piggy bank of goodwill, you
Right.
know. So
Like you just said, there's a lack of commitment in everything they do.
right, it's like, well, I've done this. Look at this, and you're like, oh, it's struggling now
Hmm.
without you and also because of you.
Right.
So, listen, God bless. I think 2026 will be more of the same. I think and people are like, why are you guys so obsessed? I'll tell you why. I don't watch Days of Our Lives anymore.
General Hospital's over.
It is. And this is an insane soap opera.
I know.
And,
I
you
think
know,
it's also fascinating because we've covered media, we've covered celebrity for so many years, and there are so many wrong turns
yeah.
being made, and it's hard to stomach. Also, they never make the obvious
Mhm.
choice. They make the opposite choice,
Oh,
and we can't justify it.
it's literally like a friend of mine who has the worst sense of direction ever. And you're walking down the street and she goes, turn right. And I'm like, great, we turn left. That is it, And they're like, they've got the worst sense of direction.
And judgment,
But
yeah.
every time they do something, they should probably just have somebody make them do the opposite,
Right.
and it might be okay.
Yeah, it
You
might.
know,
All right. All right. Agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. This was so fun. Did you guys have as much fun as I did? I know you
I
did.
did.
I know you did. All right. We wish you were here. Bye.